to make up, that's all we do. First you love me, then you hate me, that's a game for fools.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the XY Show. I'm your host, Roosevelt. Now, I know that, a lot of you heard the prelude that I came in. I'm just trying to change things up a little bit and kind of reward you. And I can't think of a better way to reward you without, other than me singing, because we're not physically seeing one another, so I have to do the next best thing, which is me singing, and I know I can sing, and, so I decided to give y'all a treat this evening, and, I hope, I know you liked it. Oh my goodness, welcome. It is another Friday, it's before you, man, it's June 19th, Juneteenth, yeah. And, it's a very significant date for blacks and really the whole country, So I hope that you really relish this day and celebrated it into a good day for you and your family. And, hopefully we can use that to all come together even more one day. So, anyway, moving along, I hope everyone is doing okay, doing fine. It is, we're halfway through June. Coronavirus still around. It ain't going nowhere, look like. So, we're still dealing with that. And, but, keep your chin up. If you ever get sad, just think two things. You can always listen to my show. And, Christmas is less than 6 months away. Well, about 6 months away. And for those of you who have been listening to me for since the beginning, you know how much I love that part of the year. Once we get into the bird months, September, October, November, and December. I love that time of year. Everything changes. People not crazy as hell or as crazy as hell. It gets cold. Well, not here, but, everywhere else it gets cold, changing the season. Just people are a lot more happier. It's my favorite time. My favorite season is winter. And my second favorite is definitely autumn. I don't like spring. I'm not an allergy sufferer or anything. It's just I don't like spring. It's just muggy and rainy and shit. Fuck flowers. I don't like summer. It's too damn hot. So I like winter. I like autumn is my second. I lived in Alaska for 4 years, so that tell you right there. But and I am, I'm in the transition of moving back to somewhere where it's a change of season because it's just too fucking hot here. So I would have moved already, but if this, COVID-19 kind of fucked shit up. So, got to put things on hold. But one thing for sure, the city isn't going anywhere. So, without further ado, let's jump into the next episode. Actually, I have some questions I would like to read. Before we do that, though, first one is from Brad. Brad says, heard you say something that I totally disagree with. I'm married, but me and my wife live a very happy marriage. She is the leader, and we get along fine with that agreement. Well, Brad, good for you. I think that agreement works because your wife she sounds like she's an alpha female. She's a leader. And you sound like a weakling. And, and that's not a bad thing. That you two go together well. She needs you to be weak so she can run shit. So it's not a bad thing. If that worked for you, good for you. But if I'm not mistaken, the episode that you're talking about, I was saying that the problem with society today is that a lot of men are not taking the lead like they should. We got a lot of bitches out there that is okay with their wives running shit. And I'm not saying that a wife should be a submissive role in the thing, like, you're the king and I do everything you say. No, I'm not saying that. But the man is the leader of the family. The man is the leader of the family. And I'm not down a lot of women. There's a lot of women out there that are leaders of the family, because they had to. They had to be. Because there's so many men out there that are so fucking weak. And if you ask the average woman, would you want to be the lead? You want to be the leader of the family? You want to be in control of them? 99% of them say no. I want a man to do that. I want a man to take lead, not me. Now, you got some exceptions to the rule, of course. There's some women out there that is running shit because they got a weak motherfucker that they're married to, like you. but it wasn't meant to be that way. And I'm trying not to sound misogynistic, but it was meant to be for the man to take lead. The man has to be the leader of the family. And the problem is with society, so many men are allowing their women to take lead, and women are taking lead because they have to, because the men are so weak, and society is suffering because of that. And it's an everlasting cycle. So you got these sons growing up seeing, oh, mommy ran shit in our house over daddy, so I'm going to find me a woman to run me. And you get this cycle that continues. You got the daughters who grow up, and since their dad is weak, they're looking for a weak man. So it's a continuous cycle. And it's a continuous cycle of fucked up families, which is a continuous cycle of fucked up bastards growing up to be not worth a damn. And we're reflecting it in our society. That's why so many people are fucked up walking around. So many crazy people walking around. All that comes from the family. It starts with the family. When I grew up, my dad was in control. My dad was the leader of the house. Fuck that. And everybody on my street, the man was the leader of the house. I could name a few, but you wouldn't know them. But every household, the man was the leader. There was no woman leading the family, So that's all I'm saying, Brad. So, if that's working for you and your wife, good for you. But, that's not the way it should be. That's all I'm saying. My opinion. Next question from Stacy. Why do you like pubic hair so much? It's disgusting. Oh, no, it's not, Stacy. No. Pubic hair, women's pubic hair, is beautiful. And I did a show episode on this a while back. I forget what number it was, but I like pubic hair. It's a fetish, I guess. I like it. I prefer it. Now, don't get me wrong. If it's a bald pussy, I'm not going to turn it down. I'm going to still get it. But I'm saying if I had a preference, it would definitely be not just hairy, very hairy. I like hair. I like to know that I'm with a woman. I don't want a sliced hot dog. I don't know why women find that shit sexy. To shave all their pussy hair off looking like a little girl. I don't understand that. If someone could, if you email me, a woman, of course, email me, tweet me, Facebook, Instagram, just answer that question for me. Why would a woman want to shave all her pubic hair off to look like a little girl? I never understood that. And I think it's really rooted in America with all this bullshit and, Americans are so vain and, and all about appearance. And, just in the 70s when you seen pussy hair, nobody went crazy. Nobody, was like, oh my goodness, it's disgusting. Ugh, you see that pussy hair? Nobody did all that. But now you see pussy hair on the side. It's like, oh shit, arrest her. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, and you go to other countries, it's the opposite. You go to Europe and, a lot of places they have pubic hair because they're women. And I'll tell you something deeper about me. I like pubic hair. I like hair under the arms. Yes, I do. You all, those of you who have been listening to me know that already. I like hair under the arms, but I really like a hairy pussy. I do. It's beautiful. It's nothing like hairy hair coming out the sides of underwear, and I think it's very beautiful. And it's unfortunate that a lot of women feel that it's not beautiful because the way society puts on the fact the actual appearance of women having pubic hair. Society makes that a taboo, makes it a bad thing. So you got women walking around who want a hairy pussy, but since they don't want to be the unnorm, they end up being like everybody else, shaving all their pussy hair. So it's all about peer pressure, if you ask me. Now, some women actually do think it's disgusting, For me, I don't. I think it's beautiful. That's another reason why I think I like older women, because usually older women, when they get a certain age, they like, fuck it, I'm not shaving this shit no more, and they let it grow out and it's just hair everywhere, But you young chicks, oh no, I'm gonna shave and getting shit waxed and all kind of shit and looking like a little girl, and so. Anyway, I love pubic hair because it's beautiful. It's not disgusting, Stacy. It is beautiful. Remember that. The more, the merrier. And if some of you want to show me how hairy you are, just email me. Oh my goodness. The next question from Carol. Love your show. You tell it like it is. I hope to be with you when we are old in the old folks' home. The only difference will be you will be doing things for me while I eat my Jell-O, not the other way around. Okay, Carol, I remember that. If you've been listening to the show, that's always one of my inside things that, a lot of you women out there, listening who, some women, not all, but some of them just saying they don't want to get married and they're okay by independent. You're going to be with me, in the old folks' home and doing things for me while we're eating Jell-O. And, anything that I want, because, we'll, at that time you realize how horny you are and you'll be doing things for me while we sit up there and eating Jell-O, watching The Price is Right, and, just chilling in the old folks' home. So, that's what Carol's talking about for those of you who don't know. So, you keep it up. A lot of you keep it up. You still want to be independent. A lot of you women, you're going to be in there with me. Keep it up. Keep saying you don't need a man and all that shit. Keep it up. Another 35, 40 years, I'm going to be, hey, come on in here. Come on in here. I told you. It's all right. Anyway. So, without further ado, I'm going to jump into the next episode. When a person is one way before you met, should you expect them to change? When a person is one way before you met, should you expect them to change? Well, I'd say the answer to that is absolutely not. You know, it seems like a simple question, but it's really not as simple as it sounds. Because you have a lot of people out there who actually think that when they get with a person, that they should change or should change something about them, or, you know, to fit what they think that person should be. And it happens every day. Sometimes it happens to the point where the couple actually get married, you know, and they say, you know, I want this person to be this way. Maybe if I marry her or him, he'll change or she'll change. And people actually get married banking on that person will change to conform to what they feel the kind of person they should be. And that is the biggest mistake a lot of couples of today make. You know, getting married based off what, you know, the expectations of a person and hoping that they'll change. You know, and in my opinion, you're already starting off on the wrong foot. Because if you can't accept that person for how they are, then you really don't need to be with that person. If you think that person should change something about them, don't marry them thinking that, okay, it's time for you to change now. You know, don't marry them and give them ultimatums. You have to change or else. and the result of that is divorce. You know, or just two people living together and that are miserable. And lo and behold, if the children is involved, you know, you have children and kids eventually, and then they're involved, and you get a divorce, and now children growing up in a single parent. You know, it affects. It starts off with two people, but it could be a lot of people in the end that it affects. So that's something that you could correct in the initial stages of a relationship. You know, I don't like this person, the way he or she acts. She's not for me. Let me move on. That's the way it should be. But I know a lot of things. We're all human, right? A lot of things, you know, prevents that from happening. Sometimes there are distractions from that happening that easy. You know, like good pussy. If she had good pussy, you know, it's a little hard for you to, I'm going to walk away from that. You know, 9 times out of 10, if it's good pussy, he gonna stick around a little while and ride that out. Maybe she'll come around where I like. You know, ain't there with a woman? You know, he's got some, man. I don't like the way he do that, but damn, he got some good dick. Oh, you know, I've been told that many times. But they say, you know, he got good dick, and you know, I'll stick around with him, and maybe he'll change. You know, I can change him maybe. If we get married or if I get pregnant, you know, maybe he'll change to how I like him to be. How many times have you heard that? How many times have you said that yourself? You know, main mistake that people make is expecting people to change to conform to what they want, the kind of person they feel. Now, there's a myriad of reasons why people, you know, think you should change. You know, all kind of reasons. There's sexual reasons. Maybe they don't believe in doing multiple sexual positions. I have heard that, you know, with a woman just want to do one position. She don't want to do anything else. You know, I heard of that. Actually, I went through that. She wouldn't do nothing but missionary. What the fuck wrong with her? But it could be anything. It could be religious. It could be whatever. You know, 420 friendly. He liked to smoke weed. I don't like that. But she liked to smoke weed. I don't like that. It could be anything. If I marry him, he'll stop smoking weed. It could be anything. It could be a lot of reasons why people feel that a person should change. He's a good person if he just changed this. She's a good person if she just work on this and change it. No. If she's not the kind of person that you're looking for, if she don't fit to what you want, then move on. Don't try to change him. Don't try to change her. Because when you do that, that's when the problems start. And when they continue to do the same thing when you get married, after you get married and the kids come, you can't say shit. Because they were doing that before you got married. You can't say a goddamn word. You can't say, why are you doing this? Oh, I did this before we married. What? I smoke weed. I like to fuck. Different positions. I didn't like to fuck in different positions. I wasn't compromising my religion. I wasn't, changing my religion for you. You knew that before we got married. Some common reasons why a person think the other person should change. Dress attire. Now, how many times have you... I know many of my guy friends, they like a woman, but they don't like the way she dressed. She dressed very provocative, and, showing her ass and titties and all that shit. So they feel that, that's inappropriate, but, they feel that, when they get married, she'll change all of that, right? I got a lot of friends who thought that, but when they got married, guess what? She didn't change that. She's still just provocative. She's still showing her ass. Still showing her titties. Nothing changed. And I've had guys that approach their wives like, why are you doing this? Why are you dressing like this? Blah, blah, blah. You're married and blah, blah, blah. Hey, I dressed like this before we got married. What's the problem? You get what I'm saying? Goes both ways. The guy, he was going out, let's say clubbing. And that's something that I've never been a big clubber. Even in my 20s, I never did that shit. It was just not me. I just didn't see going out. A bunch of fake motherfuckers walking around, punk motherfuckers, walk around grinning and shit. And I didn't want to be around all that shit. I don't like to be around big ass crowds. That just wasn't my thing. I didn't vibe in that kind of ambiance. That just wasn't me. Never was a clubber. All these grinning motherfuckers walking around. So, a woman that likes to go to a club and every week and 4 nights a week, 3 nights a week, and all that shit, she's probably not the woman for me. Because if I didn't go to the club in my 20s, I damn sure ain't gonna go to a club now. Just not me. So why would I get with a woman who goes out to the club 3-4 times a night? Every week. We're not gonna make it. And me, I have sense enough to know that, I'm not going to get with her. I'm not going to try to change that woman and, get with her and get married. And she'll stop then. She'll stop going out. and she might. She might stop going out. She might do that. She might grow up. And I shouldn't say that, not grow up. She might change. Because just because you out of the club don't mean you're immature. But, that's someone that enjoys clubbing, right? But, maybe when you two get married, she say, well, I'm married now, I'm going to cut it back. Maybe she will, And that's the only person that can change that person is that person. They're the only ones that can truly change themselves, not you. So if they change, then that's a good thing if they do it on their own. But don't go into something expecting them to change just because you put a ring on their finger. Oh, I married her. Now she gonna come around now. Or I married him. He'll come around now and stop fooling around. No, it don't work like that. You cannot expect that person to change just because you want them to. Another thing about physical appearance. You know, before you married her, you know she had small titties. You know. Now you get married, you know, you keep pressuring on her to get breast augmentation so she got some big titties like you like. You know, she don't want to get that because she don't want to change her body. Then you got a big problem. You know, you like big titties, she got small titties, but she had small titties before y'all got married. You know, what's the problem? You know she had small titties, so what's the problem? And if you getting together with a woman anyway for a physical appearance, then it's already starting off fucked up. And the same thing with a man, with vice versa. You knew he had a small dick before you got with him. Now you want him to get a penile implant and shit. You want him to change his dick. You knew he was a Muslim before you married him. Now you want him to be a Christian. You knew what he was before you got married. So just because you said I do and got a wedding ring, he'll change for me now. Yeah. That's bullshit. And that's why so many marriages are failing today. A lot of these motherfuckers are getting married thinking the other person will conform and change the way that they want them to be. Oh, she's all right. She'll be all right. You know, maybe it's something like future goals. You know, woman tell you that she don't want to have kids. Oh no, she'll change that shit when we get married. She'll have some. No, it don't work like that. If a woman tells you she don't want to have kids, you want to have kids, then she's not the woman for you. That even sounds like some dumb shit for a motherfucker to marry a woman and she's made it very clear that she does not desire to have any children, yet you're going to marry her thinking, oh, she'll change. She'll change for me. After we get married, she'll have kids. I'm sure a lot of you have heard this. A lot of you have had friends. A lot of you have gone through this. And the same thing, vice versa, with a guy. You know, a guy has been very clear that he does not want children. And a woman say, oh, once we get married, he'll change his mind. You know, I'll get him. And what happened? You get married and the guy's still sticking. He don't want to have kids. Then you have a problem. Now you have marital problems. Now you have marital issues. Next thing you know, you get a divorce. When they all could have been avoided. You know he didn't want to have kids. You wanted to have kids. You should have moved on. He wasn't for you. Vice versa, she wasn't for you. Bottom line is, it's very simple. You know, Billy Joel, I like the way you are. I love the way you are. Whatever the fuck it is. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't like a person for the way they are at first, then you should move on. Stop trying to change people to be what you want them to be. So many marriages are fucked up because of that. So many marriages don't last because of that simple fact. People are getting married and expecting the other person to come around. Folks, you got to stop that. It's very simple. First of all, you got to communicate. You got to find out what page are they on, compared to what page you're on, or what chapter, whatever. You might be on a different chapter. You on chapter 1. You don't have kids, but you want kids. She's on chapter 7. She got kids, and they about to move out. She ain't trying to have no more babies. Y'all on different chapters. Y'all on different parts of the book. So you need to find someone who's on the same chapter as you are. You know? Because when you know, just like anything else, you know, if she's on or he or she was on a different chapter, then it's not gonna match. It's not gonna fit. They're looking for something different. So don't try to change them to fit what you want. Oh, you on chapter 7, I'm on chapter 1, but I want you to come back to chapter 1 for me. No, it don't work like that. If that person on chapter 7, you on chapter 1, let them go. They want different shit than you. Don't try to change a person. If you don't like them the way they are, don't try to change them. Let them go. That goes for a myriad of things. That goes for physical appearance. That goes for the inner person. You know she had a big ass mouth before y'all was married. You know she liked to talk and shit and yell and all that kind of shit. You think, she get married and she won't do that anymore? I mean, come on. It's very simple. We complicate shit in society. We make shit harder than it should be. It's very simple. If they are not on the same page as you are, don't have the same agenda as you, if you don't like them the way they are, then move on. Don't change that person. Don't attempt to change that person because you can't. The only person that can change that person is that person. So, the question, when a person is one way before you met, should you expect them to change? No. If you don't like them the way they are, then move your ass on. It'll save a world of hurt for you and that woman, or you and that man, and ultimately, society. So, hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. Be sure to tune in next week as well. The XY Show is on a wide variety of different outlets for your listening pleasure. I'm on TuneIn. I'm on Spreaker. Spreaker's my main hub. I'm on Blueberry, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Stitcher, Castbox. I'm on any of those. Be sure to subscribe, please. Pretty please, with ice cream on top. Subscribe. Let me know how much you love me. I'm also on social media. I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can find all of that, my platforms and my social media, on my website, which is www.thexyshow.com. www.thexyshow.com. You can find everything there. You can also find a comment form. Make any constructive criticism you like, or any comments, any questions that you have. Be sure to do that there as well. So, it's another Friday gone. The next Friday to be June, to be damn near out of here. We'll be damn near in July. Closer and closer to Christmas. So, think about that the next time you get down. You can always listen to my show, like I said. Or, Christmas will be here in about 6 months. So, keep your chin up. Without further ado, I want you always to remember that you cannot have love without X and Y. Later.
You've been listening to The X and Y Show with your host, Roosevelt Colbert, the place where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. Join us next time. You can now put your clothes back on. Or not.